I work as a grant manager for Porticus. Porticus is an organization that is supporting organizations here in Bosnia in the work that they do on civic engagement and democracy building. And I'm super excited to be here. I came here with a lot of hopes. The biggest hope, I think, was that the partners would feel welcome, they would feel connected, because it's been such a long time since the last time we met, or they met together because of everything that has happened. And so that was my biggest hope, and I think it was also a bit of my expectation of being able to host a workshop that is able to connect them closer. And we're now second day, finishing the second day, and the feeling is quite good, so I'm very happy. And look forward to tomorrow. And in terms of the country, it's my first time in Bosnia. So I came from the airport to this beautiful place in the mountains, so I'm just in awe with everything that I'm seeing. And I will have a couple of days in Sarajevo, so I can't wait to discover the capital city.
I have a quick test.
Closing the windows and increasing the AC, or is fine? Fine. Perfect. 5 more minutes? Yeah? Is that everybody's here? I want to pick up. I've heard all you can eat soup. All you can eat buffet.
What's going to go curry, but there's stew. Apparently qualifies as soup as well.
Excellent. Good, I see you're all set. We have, everybody has taken another look.
Think about this morning is specifically setting an intention for today. Is there someone that you particularly want to talk to? Is there something you want to hear about? Do you want to hear more about? Do you want to go and walk in the trees? Do you want to go and pet a really cute dog? And they can be anything, any intention that you'd like. So we're going to start by just...
Vidiš, molim te,
se konektale za vrijeme doručka, znači lijep razgovor, uzmeš finu hranu i moraš biti s Tuzlim.
Had a nice walk.
Good, nice
in the
conversation.
mountains, right?
Yeah. We had kind of different approaches to the question, and it brought the conversation up to a different level because we were able to kind of see it from two different dimensions, so that was cool.
Yeah. And we had to climb the hill to have a bird eye view.
Yeah, and we had and we were discussing also how old we are. So.
And out of training after years of COVID and not being active.
Yeah.
So, but it helped us to listen to the other because we were trying to catch up our breath. And I would say it was healthy disagreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sitting in nature to talk about urban life dilemmas was rewarding.
U suštini ovo je bilo jako zanimljivo. Jako je zanimljiva metodologija koju Porticus primjenjuje. Meni je jako lijepo i neobično vidjeti da praktikuju ovakav način rada, ovakvu slobodu da daju, da ljudi izađu da prošetaju, da razgovaraju o temama koje su im bitne, o odnosima u profesionalnom, privatnom smislu i da sa svim tim nekim idejama onda dođu kasnije da taj plenarni dio to iznesu. Jako zanimljiva metodologija i način rada i verujem da su ovo pristup koji mogu da iznjedre najbolje rezultate i da ljudi na ovim radionicama, barem ja tako doživljavam, prvi put sam tu, ali mislim da ljudi nisu ovdje samo zato što ih je neko pozvao i trebaju tu da budu, nego stvarno vide neku korist i neku ljepotu svega ovoga.
I'm Erica Pattington, and I'm part of an organisation called IoT Park, and we are the evidence partners for the Strengthening Civic Engagement in Bosnia-Herzegovina programme, which is working with partners across Bosnia-Herzegovina and neighbouring countries to work in a range of different ways in terms of building civic practice and bringing about change in a whole range of different methodologies and approaches. Our role is to support those partners into being able to tell the stories of change, so the effects of their work, what they're doing, and how it relates to the change that they'd like to see happening within their societies, within communities, and within particular groups. This particular workshop is focusing in on making sure that the partners can reconnect. We've started the programme. We were initially going to launch the programme in March 2020, at the end of March 2020, with a face-to-face meeting that we had to very quickly switch to being online. So we've been connecting online for the past 2 years, 2 and a bit years, and this is our first opportunity to come together physically, and it's been amazing. It's been great for us to break out of our little boxes. We've only met each other head and shoulders as a full group, although the partners have connections themselves. So it's been lovely to meet people as full bodies and to sit and have coffee and to share food and to hear some of the stories of their work.
Welcome to the Civil Society Museum in this sunny July in 2452. My name is Sasha Madacki and I'm keeper of ancient activism artifacts at the museum. With my colleague Aida Bečirer, she is the head of excavation in the Valley of Activism.
That's why you wrote that. Nice t-shirt.
She is head of excavation. So basically, this is a grand opening of the exhibition. So basically, what we do during the excavation, which Aida led, we take one part from the basement of SHL house. And took it here so you can see, and also you can read. We will give you a brief presentation of what we have discovered during the archaeological excavation. So please join us to the gallery.
Yes, you are maybe the first group ever that is allowed to find some artifacts in our excavation of basement of SHL house. So there was a SHL house like 400 years ago. And in that house we find evidence that some seminars took place, some education of young people, but actually you can find by your own evidence inside. There are 9 different kind of stories. Be creative, and you have the tools here, so please you can excavate. You can excavate evidence and to look what happened actually back then in 2022.
Predstavljamo rad fondacije Schuler-Helfen-Leben iz perspektive da govorimo o 2452. godini gdje je Bosna i Hercegovina ispunila sve uslove Evropske unije i najbolja smo zemlja na svijetu i upravo nalazimo arheološku iskopinu i tražimo dokaze da je nekada na jednom mjestu postojala jedna kuća koja je u biti edukovala sve aktiviste koji su danas doprinijeli do promjene u ovom društvu.
You want to talk to, it can be a conversation you want to have, it can be that you want to go and pet the cute dog or walk in, obsessed by the dog, or walk in the woods. So
check
just
out after lunch.
Definitely check out after lunch, you're welcome to write that down again. And what you do with that post-it note is that you write it down, you don't have to discuss it with anybody, and you pop it in your pocket so you carry it with you during the day. And you can remind yourself of your intention at any point that your energy gets low or you just need a reminder. So that's the first thing that we're going to do with post-it notes. The second thing we're going to do, once we've set our personal intention, is to set our intentions for the conversations that we'd like to have today.
For the sake of Adam, who's here, I'm going to be speaking English, and I hope that's okay with everybody. So, I'll go back to this eponymous goat and why it's so important for us to kind of start with the goat to try and think the transmission of knowledge in the community about resistance when making a change. The story goes that the Tuzla goat was, there's a song, traditional song, that Tuzla is fed by only one goat. During Austro-Hungarian times, the authorities banned the goats from being kept, and the mining community, miners in particular, needed goat milk in order to heal their lungs. So they hid a goat, and this one hidden goat was the source for the well-being and sustenance of the community. So underneath all of this is the question, how does a community transfer knowledge about itself and about making some sort of a change? And of course, those of us who come from the humanities know that oral tradition has great potential. And how do we listen to what is transmitted? So what gets transmitted? Not just the text, but emotion, the question that the community wants to ask itself of itself. So who are we as a community?
Here's a multimedia school that was organized by Franz Lopady, and my idea was to shed some spotlight on the problem of sports betting and betting in general in our country, which is a problem that's kind of sidelined because nobody actually wants to talk about it. Talk about the cultural impact that it has on our society.
Blessing because it allows people specificity, something that really interests them to be engaged with. But I can see some of the challenges, and we heard it on this station most clearly, for me at least anyway, about how we make connections across a variety of different people. And we're all interested in lots of different individual things, but the big issues, this violence that people experience in all sorts of different ways, can close them off to each other's experiences.
Sure.
I'm just so thrilled to be back to physical post-it notes rather than Miro boards, so I just need to use them. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, again, grab some post-it notes, and I just want you to write out 2 or 3 maybe bits of feedback. So anything that you want to comment on, something that you felt was really helpful, something that you would like to see improved, anything that you might do as a result of being in this group for the past 2.5 days. So any reflections, we'll get them up on the wall, and like we did with our intentions and our hopes, we'll just theme them and see kind of how we did.
Constructive comments we call that. Nemoj mi kaže glupost plus.
It's been very, 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 very enriching, and I really thank you. There's the purpose of the connection from my very personal perspective, looking at you guys, was achieved, but this is my impression. And yeah, I'm proud to be part of this group and to be able to support what you guys are doing. So I look forward to further conversations. And now, just to close with a bit of joy, would like to actually ask you to all stand up. If you can come closer in the circle, almost like our shoulders touching. 2, 3. Now, let's do it 3 times, and this is a clap to each and every one of you. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
Evo, fantastično, žao mi je iskreno što moram prvenstveno da vidim sa ovim predivnim planini, ali mi je onda i žao što se razilazim s ovim ljudima i vjerovatno vraćamo malo opet u virtualni svijet da se čujemo preko Zoomova, ali brzo ćemo se mi opet.